Hello, everyone, and welcome to Saturday. I'm not going to lie to you, this is being filmed at the very end of the day, and it is, in fact, technically Sunday. It's been a very busy day because today was day 2 of the Runaway Guys Colosseum, and despite not being on for a lot of segments, things have actually been busier than I thought they would be. We woke up pretty late to try and get as much sleep as we possibly could. You guys probably saw that I released a bunch of vlogs yesterday. I needed to catch up. It weighs on me really badly, especially in the midst of doing an event. I feel like I will do a better job at the event if I know that everything else is taken care of. So I stayed up a little bit to do that. So I slept in a good bit, and we woke up late. And then after just a short amount of time, we were ready to do our first big segment today, which was actually Josh's segment, and that was Josh Tries Art, where Josh was going to try and emulate one of Mal's paintings, the one based on Spiral Mountain, and Mal and I were doing co-commentary with it, and it was really fun. I mean, I had a ton of fun with it.
It was fun.
I feel like you did too.
And I was honestly surprised how good Josh did when he
did good.
He had all of the incentives people could donate for.
He did good.
He did really good.
It was so. There was some tech issues, and I'm still not sure where the tech issues were coming from, because Josh successfully streamed from his side yesterday, so I'm not sure exactly what the problems were. But despite a few tech issues, if you end up watching the VOD later down the line, they do get fixed, and it was such a fun joy to see him blindfolded for like 80% of the painting. And, like, is the painting abstract? Well, of course. But it actually, you can tell what it's supposed to be emulating. Like, you really can. It was wild. And it's also the first time I've ever read donations for this event. This is the third year doing the event, and I've never read donations, so this is the first time I've done that. And I was actually proud of myself because we got through every incentive donation, which there was a lot. That segment actually brought in a lot of funds, so thank you all for donating during that. But, $50 up had something attached to it, and I wanted to make sure that in that 2-hour block we got through all of those things. And we did. If you submitted $50 or more to have something happen, whether it was Josh switch a color or switch instruments or add a tree or go blindfolded, like, we did those things. And I was happy about that, especially because it was literally up to the buzzer. Like, we were doing the last incentives in the last, 5 minutes or something. Yeah. So, but he did it. And I think 2 hours was an appropriate amount of time for it, too.
It was. Mm-hmm.
Like, it could have been paced more quickly, but the way that it was paced was, I think, correct for what it was. So, that was a fun time. And then after that, we worked on dinner and did a few other things. And then the whole day I was going to get a shower. I woke up and I put on a yellow shirt. Ew. It's not yellow, I swear. I'm bad at colors this early in the morning. I put on a white shirt because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a shower, so it doesn't matter. And I never got a shower because I've been busy with everything. But after dinner, we met at our normal Stephen and Friends time, but we didn't record anything, because I was going to be joining John for co-commentary on the fortune cookie stream. And it's really interesting because his fortune cookie streams generally are random. So it's like a computer choosing the game that people are going to play. Or at least it's choosing like a collection of them, and then people vote on what specifically it's going to be. But this time, donations directly influenced what games were on the list. And actually, if it sounds close to Extra Life, it's because it was literally running the exact same spreadsheet. Whenever John told me about this idea, he asked if he could just have the spreadsheet that we use for Extra Life. So I got him in contact with Chaz, and Chaz gave it to him. So if it looked the same and it felt similar, it's because it was actually the exact same thing. But it was fun. It was a fun night. It was a very fun night because we got a chance to play two things, actually, that have been long-running jokes between John and myself. We got to finally do Kirby's Dream Course together. We had actually recorded that a year or two ago or something like that, and the footage was lost or corrupted to the point where it couldn't be used. So it was nice to finally be able to play Kirby's Dream Course together live, and it was just a good experience to finally check that off the list of like, oh, we did it. We finally did it. And then the big thing, and this will make no sense out of context. I'm completely aware of that, but we finally got to play the Game Boy Player disc. Not a Game Boy Advance game or a Game Boy game for the Game Boy Player, but just the Game Boy Player disc for GameCube. And this is a very weird story, but 2 years ago for Extra Life, John had been doing a stream and rated our Extra Life event and instructed his chat and all of the raiders to donate towards a game, that they thought would be funny to see played. And the game that they landed on was the Game Boy Player disc, which is not a game. It's not a game. You have to have the disc in the GameCube in order to allow you to play Game Boy games. But it itself is not a game. They thought it would be funny, so they donated towards it. And it in the end, it was like $2,500 they donated. And it ended up it wasn't the cause of the computer exploding, but right after we started playing it, the computer had sparkler sounds in it. It literally fried the computer. Computer was okay later, by the way.
We never figured out
what that was, but it was super strange. Anyway, so now 2 years later, we are in the exact same position where I'm on co-commentary with John, and the audience can choose anything from his, massive game collection, and of course, they all gravitate towards the Game Boy Player because they finally want to see it played. And it was an interesting experience to see that thing get all the way to the top, beat out every other game, and then we load up 30 minutes of just sitting on the Game Boy Player screen. And it actually did so well that it got marked off the list and then came back to the top of the list.
And then John kept adding incentives like, oh, if you get to this number, we'll do 10 more minutes.
Yes.
Oh, this number, 10 more minutes. And it kept getting met. So.
In the end, I was impressed yesterday because yesterday we exceeded the first day of the previous year. And that blew my mind given the circumstances. Today, we exceeded the final total of the third day or something from last year.
We're only a couple thousand from what we raised last year.
So we're getting close to just beating last year, and it's only day 2. And last year was a 4-day event. Mm-hmm. So it's $150,000. In fact, we were within $4,000 of just having raised a straight $100,000 today. And that's wild.
And we talked in our meeting, there's kind of an unofficial goal set, but we don't want to push it because times are hard, it's scary out there. And, we just wanted to put something on to entertain people and hopefully raise some money for good. And I was crying earlier.
The internal goal that we were like, well, over the course of 3 days, it'd be really cool if we could hit it. We don't think we'll do it, but it'd be really cool if we could do it. Was $150,000, and that happened today. And I'm blown away by the generosity of everyone, and as always humbled by it, and excited by it. There's an entire day left. There's more stuff coming tomorrow. And it's a very real possibility that this event could bring in more donations than last year, and that's exceptional considering that it is less. It is 3 days instead of 4, and again, there is a pandemic happening.
We've had less time to put it together.
And we have had less time to put it together.
And the crew, like MC Campy and Jiggy and all their other people, had to figure stuff out, in just a couple weeks on the fly today.
It's a bit of a technical nightmare.
Yeah.
Honestly. Really, the fact that everything has gone as smoothly as it has is, just a testament to the amazing intelligence and fervor of the people behind the scenes. And I don't know, I feel, as I have felt every year, I feel very honored to be a part of this group and to be contributing to some good in this world, especially during this time. And I'm always very impressed by everyone, and I continue to be impressed. And I got another day to be impressed, because we're doing it again tomorrow. And it is late, because if you knew that John's segment started at midnight Eastern and went until 3 and then kept getting extended, you would know that it is past 4 a.m. And it is past 4 a.m. So I'm tired.
Well,
what?
The thing I miss most about Colosseum with this event compared to previous is like getting to just chat with everyone and hang out.
Yeah.
So like we don't have that this year, but after the stream was done, there was like 10 of us that stayed up and just talked. And then some people would drop out and it was down to like 5, and then we're like, okay, we should really go to bed, and it'd be 10 more minutes, and like, okay, let's go to bed.
Mal's trying to rat us out in terms of how late it is. It's very late. But she's right, actually.
The sun's coming up.
She's right. It's one of those things that in both of the previous events, it's really nice to talk to these folks and get a chance to spend time with them. Obviously, in person is better, but I mean, these are people that we love, and they're also people that do what we do, which is, not terribly common. You don't always have a lot of people to talk to that are in the exact same situation that you're in.
Trying to explain what you do to your parents.
Exactly.
And grandparents and stuff.
So it's been really nice. And yes, after the event was over, even though it was already super late, everyone kept talking because everyone craved that social aspect of the event that we, are missing because we're all separated.
And plus we're all social distancing at home in our regular lives.
Everyone
we have no social otherwise.
Everyone is already very socially needy, so it is late. The sun is coming up.
It's 6:15.
Mallory's very proud of this. I'm tired, but the good news is we are not on tomorrow until 4 p.m. So we will actually, we should actually get a full night's rest. Kepler's probably confused, but he's still getting food, just at, sometimes slightly.
We just had him first meal for Sunday.
Yeah, we just had him this first meal of the day, and I'm like, well, that's a sign of how things are. Things will get fixed. And again, the beauty in all this is our sleep schedule is a little weird right now, sure, but we're getting sleep. At least we are now. Earlier in the week, but now I should be able to get 8 hours. We'll go from there. And maybe I'll finally get a shower.
It's a beautiful morning.
That'd be nice. Is the sun coming up?
It's starting to, and there's a really beautiful crescent moon.
Oh my god. You do know that we have to go to sleep, though, right?
Oh, there's a duck.
Like, we do have to sleep.
Oh, I know.
Because there's a desire in my heart that's like, I like pancakes. I'm gonna make pancakes, but that's done. We should just go to sleep. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've been enjoying Colosseum if you've been watching it, or if you haven't been. The VODs are. Everything's getting recorded, so it'll be, posted on the Runaway Guys channel. And then one final thing, they posted my bumper today.
Yeah, your bumper was put up.
So our bumper, Mallory was a huge part of that.
You're the creative genius behind it.
Well, I couldn't have done it without your help. There is no way that you can shoot something like that with one person. Like, it's impossible, especially with focus pulls. You can't achieve those. We'll talk more about that at some point in the near future, but the bumper came out, and I released a 4K version earlier after it came out, so if people want to watch it on YouTube, they can. It'll be the video before this one on Steven Vlog, so if you want to see it, you can. And I hope you like it. It was a lot of fun to make, and it scratched an itch in my brain that I haven't had a chance to scratch in a long time. Cinema! I love cinema. Thank you for watching, and as always, let's be back tomorrow, shall we?